Security had to step in. This prankster went too far. The streets outside Buckingham Palace buzzed with the usual crowd, tourists snapping photos, children on their parents' shoulders, and guards standing unwavering at their posts. Among the visitors, a different kind of presence entered the scene. Tyler Hayes, a 24-year-old social media prankster with millions of followers, grinned at his camera. Dressed in ripped jeans, a hoodie, and sporting a GoPro strapped to his chest, he was ready to pull off what he called the ultimate guard reaction prank. "All right, guys," he said into his mic, adjusting the phone mounted on a selfie stick. "Today, I'm about to make history. No one, and I mean no one, has ever made a Queen's Guard flinch. But that's about to change." His cameraman, Derek, chuckled as he adjusted the angle. "Dude, you sure about this? I heard these guys take their job seriously." Tyler scoffed. "Come on, man, they're just standing there. What's the worst that could happen?" A few bystanders overheard and began whispering. Some even pulled out their phones, sensing something about to unfold. The Royal Guard, clad in his signature red uniform and towering bearskin hat, stood like a statue, his rifle resting against his shoulder. His expression was unreadable, completely unfazed by the bustling city around him. Tyler turned back to his camera. "Let's see if we can break the unbreakable." With that, he took his first step toward the guard, mischief glinting in his eyes. He had no idea that he was about to make a huge mistake. Tyler approached the guard with exaggerated movements, his footsteps intentionally loud as he strutted toward his target. His followers flooded his live chat with laughing emojis and daring comments. "Here we go," he muttered under his breath, stopping just inches from the soldier. The Royal Guard remained motionless, his gaze locked forward, unshaken by the obnoxious presence looming in front of him. Tyler waved a hand dramatically, pretending to inspect the uniform. "Whoa, look at this guy. Absolute unit. I bet he's just dying to crack a smile." The crowd watched with mixed reactions. Some chuckled, others frowned, sensing that the prankster was stepping over the line. Tyler took it further. He clapped his hands loudly near the guard's ear, mimicking a sudden noise. Nothing. The soldier didn't even blink. "All right, tough guy," Tyler said, glancing at his camera with a smirk. "What if He sneezed loudly, bending dramatically toward the guard, barely stopping himself from making contact. Still, the soldier didn't move. A murmur spread through the onlookers. Some pulled out their phones, eager to see how far this would go. Tyler, fueled by the attention, turned to Derek. "He's good, I'll give him that. But let's see what happens when I turn up the heat." He had no idea he was seconds away from crossing the line. Tyler grinned mischievously as he turned back toward the guard. The prank had been fun so far, but he needed something bigger, something that would make his video go viral. "All right, let's see if he flinches at this," Tyler muttered, stepping even closer. The crowd grew tense. A few onlookers murmured warnings under their breath. Without hesitation, Tyler lifted his hand and reached toward the guard's rifle. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Derek's camera wobbled as he instinctively pulled back. "Dude, don't." But it was too late. Tyler's fingers barely grazed the polished wood of the guard's rifle when everything changed. The soldier, who had remained an immovable force throughout the prank, suddenly came to life. In one swift motion, he stomped forward, bringing the rifle to attention with a forceful clang. Tyler's grin disappeared instantly. His feet scrambled backward, nearly tripping over himself as he stumbled away. The once playful atmosphere shattered. The guard's booming voice cut through the air. "Stand back!" Tyler's entire body tensed. His face turned pale as his mind caught up with what had just happened. The once laughing crowd now watched in stunned silence. A few tourists even clapped, nodding in approval at the soldier's unwavering discipline. Derek muttered under his breath, still recording, "Oh, man, you really messed up." Tyler, breathless and frozen, finally realized he had gone too far. The guard's stance remained rigid, his voice cutting through the stunned silence like a blade. "Stand back, now!" Tyler's heart pounded. The playful arrogance that had fueled him moments ago vanished, replaced by raw fear. His hands trembled as he took a hasty step backward, his mind racing for an escape. The crowd, initially entertained, now whispered among themselves. Some shook their heads, while others watched with silent approval. Tourists raised their phones, but this time, they weren't recording a harmless prank. They were witnessing a serious moment of discipline and consequence. Derek, still recording, muttered, "Bro, we gotta go." Tyler barely heard him. His adrenaline-fueled brain was still processing what had just happened when another figure entered the scene, a uniformed security officer. "Step away from the guard, sir," the officer ordered, his tone firm but controlled. Tyler's throat went dry. He hesitated, glancing at Derek for reassurance, but his friend had already taken a step back. The realization crashed over him. This wasn't a joke anymore. "Sir, I won't ask again," the officer continued, stepping closer. "You have violated protocol by interfering with an active duty Queen's Guard. We need you to come with us." Tyler's stomach dropped. His prank had spiraled into something far beyond his control, ***. The finality of the moment hit him hard. As the officer reached for his arm, the crowd murmured in approval. The prank was over. But for Tyler, the consequences were just beginning. Tyler sat in the security office, his hands fidgeting on his lap as the reality of the situation settled in. His GoPro had been confiscated, his phone sat on the table in front of him, and Derek was nowhere in sight. A stern-looking officer leaned forward. "You thought this was a joke?" Tyler swallowed hard. I didn't think it was a big deal." The officer shook his head. "These guards are trained military personnel. You interfered with one on duty. You're lucky we're only fining you. A fine, a criminal record, and the complete destruction of his online reputation." His prank had gone viral, but not in the way he had hoped. Outside, the Royal Guard resumed his post, as if nothing had ever happened.